TunePocket.com.
Hello everyone. Today we are going to start a very important topic, that is force, that has been defined under section 349 of the Indian Penal Code, where it says a person is said to use force to another if he causes motion, change of motion, or cessation of motion to that other, or if he causes to any substance such motion or change of motion or cessation of motion as brings that substance into contact with any part of that other's body or with anything which that other is wearing or carrying, or with anything so situated that such contact affects the other's sense of feeling. So basically we have three ingredients. Number one, that if he causes motion, change of motion or cessation of motion to others. Number two, if he causes to any substance such motion, change of motion or cessation of motion. And in doing so, if such substance come into contact with anyone's body part or anything which he is wearing or carrying, or anything so situated that affects the other's sense of feeling. We will discuss one by one that what we call motion, change of motion or cessation of motion. Similarly, that if he causing any substance to cause motion, change of motion or cessation of motion. And we have a very important proviso attached to the section 349, that is the person causing the motion or change of motion or cessation of motion causes that motion, change of motion or cessation of motion in one of the three ways hereinafter described. So we will discuss that what are the various ways for causing motion, change of motion or cessation of motion. Come to the point, ways of motion, change of motion and cessation of motion, as the provision itself providing that what are the various ways for change of motion, cessation of motion and the motion. Number one, it says by his own bodily power. Number two, by disposing any substance in such manner that the motion or change of motion or cessation of motion takes place without any further act on his part or any other person's part. So just underline the term without any further act on his part. This is the very important word under this section. And number three, by inducing any animal to move. Here, a person may induce any animal to move or may induce any animal to change its motion or may induce any animal to cease to move. So that we will discuss one by one that what are the various ways and what are the various examples for causing motion, change of motion or cessation of motion. The problem is what we call force. Here the term force is used where the one person is using force against the other, then what we call force. Basically, force means exertion of energy producing a change in outer world. As you know, the force may be described as pull or push of an object. For example, you are entering into a room and you are pulling the door or pushing the door, that is called you are applying a force to the door. The force can be applied due to phenomenon such as gravity, magnetism, or anything that can cause a mass to accelerate. You might have studied in your 10th standard that F is equal to ma. force is equal to mass into acceleration. You might have studied the moment of inertia, where it says a force can cause an object with mass to change its velocity. Where suppose there is an object, then it will continue to move unless it is stopped. Or if there is an object or mass, if it is in rest, then it will continue in rest unless it is moved by some external or some external force. So that is called force. What we call causing a force, as we have a very beautiful illustration attached to section 350 of the Indian Penal Code, where suppose Z is sitting in a mood boat on a river. A, the other person, unfastens the moorings and thus intentionally causes the boat to drift down the stream. Here A intentionally causes motion to Z, and he does this by disposing substance in such a manner that the motion is produced without any other act on any person's part. So, therefore, the person is causing motion to the mood board without any further act on any other person's part, or on his part he just unfastened the mood. Come to another aspect of application of force, that is change of motion. We have another illustration attached to section 350 that says Z is riding in a chariot. A lashes Jet's horses and thereby causes them to quicken their pace. Here Z has caused change of motion to Z by inducing the animal to change their motion. So what does it mean? Here the Z has applied the force to the horses and therefore he causes to change their motion. Again, the question is what we call cessation of motion, for which we have another illustration attached to section 350, which says Z is riding in a palanquin. A, intending to rob Z, seizes the pole and stops the palanquin. Here A has caused cessation of motion to Z, and A has done this by his own bodily power, and therefore the A has applied force to the palanquin, and therefore it is called cessation of motion. One of the very important aspect of this particular section, that is sense of feeling, whether even a sense of feeling can amount to application of force. If someone's sense of feeling has been frightened or someone's sense of feeling has been affected, then whether it can amount to application of force to the body mind. Then we have a very important illustration attached to this particular section, that is illustration G of section 350, which says Z is bathing. A poured into the bath water which he knows to be boiling. Here is intentionally by his own bodily power causes such motion in the boiling water as brings that water into contact with jet or with other water so situated that such contact must affect jet sense of feeling, and therefore A has used intentionally the force. So here the boiling water affecting the sense of feeling of other, and therefore here the accused person has applied force to the others and it affects the sense of feelings of other, and therefore it can be said that he has applied the force. Now the question is, if someone brings a substance into contact with any other's body part, whether it can amount to application of force under section 349 of IPC or not. So we have illustration E of section 350, which says A throws a stone intending or knowing it to be likely that the stone will be thus brought into contact with Z, or with Z's cloth, or with something carried by Z, or that it will strike water and dash up the water against Z's clothes or something carried by Z. So, what does it mean here? If A throwing of the stone produce the effect of causing any substance to come into contact with Z or Z's clothes, so A has used force to Z. And generally it happens to the villages and the countryside area where we are finding out the uh, some dig over the roadside, and if some motor vehicle or car is going over it, and it generally dashes over others, and therefore it affects other sense of feeling or it frighten other, and therefore we call it the application of force under section 349 of IPC. Come to the point, section 350 of the Indian Penal Code, which defines the term criminal force, as we have already understood that what we call force, and therefore now come to the point, that what we call criminal force. As per section 350, it says whoever intentionally uses force to any person without that person's consent in order to the committing of any offense, or intending by the use of such force to cause or knowing it to be likely that by the use of such force he will cause injury, fear or annoyance. These are the three very important terms under section 350: injury, fear or annoyance. You already studied that what we call injury under section 3, under section 44 of the Indian Penal Code. So if he will cause injury, fear or annoyance to the person to whom the force is caused, is said to use criminal force to the person. As we have already studied illustration A, B, C, E and G, if it all has been done to injury, annoy or causing fear to other person without his consent, then it will called as criminal force or application of criminal force, and the person can be charged under section 350 of the Indian Penal Code. So that in illustration A, if someone is unfastening the moored boat, and if he did this unmooring intentionally, then it will be called as using criminal force against other. Or we have studied in illustration number B that Z is riding in chariot, and A lasses Z's horses and thereby causes them to quicken their pace. And if it is done without Z's consent, intending or knowing it to be likely that he may thereby injure, frighten or annoy Z, and therefore it is called as A has used criminal force to Z. Similarly, in the palanquin example, if A has acted intentionally without just consent in order to the commission of the offense, then it is said that he has used the force against the person. Similarly, spitting over other is also amount to criminal force because it annoy other, it affects others' sense of feeling. Or if someone is intentionally unwilling or pulling the will of a woman, then it shall amount to use of criminal force, and for that the person may be penalized. Thank you.